I hope last class we have covered built-in potential.
Sir, that, yes, sir.
Built V naught equation we have covered, it seems.
Yes, sir. That the same question came into exam also. Yes, sir. That question.
Just look at the topic, this portion. Last class we covered, all these topics. This V naught equation, this is what I am stressing. This derivation also we have covered, right? Problem,
Yes.
okay. That's covers introductory part of PN junction. Now let us focus on the space charge at a junction. What do we mean by space charge? Okay, this is a new word, what you are seeing right now. So far we called depletion region. Another name what we are giving for depletion region is space charge region. Okay, in this region, the entire region is filled with charges. What kind of charges we will see in a moment. Within transition region, this is alternative name for space charge region, depletion region, transition region. There are different names. You need not get confused with the different names. All are same only. But depending on the operations, whatever it is happening, we give it the different names. So within the transition region or space charge region, electrons and holes they keep moving. Reason is because of the concentration gradient. Electrons and holes they transit from one side to other side through the junction. How they transit? The process is given here. Electrons will diffuse from n side where they are majority to the p side where they are minority in number. Similarly, holes will diffuse due to the concentration gradient from p side to n side. In p side, holes are majority charge carriers and they diffuse to the n side. And by the movement of these electrons and holes, we already said it is going to create an electric field. Okay, and that electric field causes drift of electrons from p to n. This already we explained. I don't want to spend again time how this drift process happens. Similarly, due to the electric field which is created because of the diffusion process, so it will create the drift of holes between from n side to p side. So we have understood here totally 4 processes happening: electron diffusion, electron drift, hole diffusion, hole drift. The moment I say drift, it is because of the external force or electric field. Due to the electric field, if charges are moving, the notation is we call as a drift. Due to the concentration gradient, difference in the number charge carriers, if the charges are moving, that is called the diffusion. Now let us see here, the electric field caused due to the diffusion process will sweep out all carriers in the depletion region. We should imagine the depletion region like a 2 parallel plate capacitor like this. This looks like a parallel plate capacitor. Okay, in the mid, let us say this is the middle of a junction. One side you have an N region, let us say right side, other side you have a P region, and in between the junction there is again a depletion region. You can see this is filled with donor ions, immobile ions. On other side, the towards P side, you can see there are acceptor ions here. And now the charge movement, charges cannot reside in this depletion region, because charges immediately will be swept out either to the P side or N side, because there is a strong electric field in between these two regions. Always see there is a positive charges here and negative charges here. In this empty space, whatever I am showing here, it is filled with the negative ions here, which are called the acceptor ions, and on the N side you see the donor ions here. This creates an electric field. Okay. Always electric field will be from positive side to the negative side. Direction of electric field is like this. It goes from positive side to negative side. Okay. Fine. So, however, at a given time, there are very few charge carriers in the depletion region, because of the strong electric field here, the electric field will not allow charge carriers to reside here. It is like a capacitor. You know that? Do you see any charges in between two parallel plate of a capacitor? Suppose if this plate, one plate is say positively charged, other plate is say negatively charged. I am asking you a question here. Do you see any charges here in this parallel plate capacitor? Definitely not. Reason is any negative charge which comes here, it is immediately pulled to this region, because this positive plate here will attract electrons here. Similarly, any negative charge here is pulled to the positive plate, positive charge here is pulled to the negative plate here. That means this field established here is so strong that it will not allow the charge carriers to reside in between these two parallel plates. Only ions you will see here, the positive ion on N side, negative ions on the P side. So the electric field sweeps out carriers which have wandered into the depletion region W. So in this region, it will keep sweeping either to the left side or to the right side, depending on the type of charge carrier. Now let us see this. So far I have explained you how exactly the charge movement happens, different charges in different process, how exactly movement happens within the depletion region. Now let us apply some electrostatics to the depletion region. And this applying electrostatics to the depletion region is called as depletion region approximation. Though you have studied already the potential, inbuilt potential within the depletion region, we already come out with a mathematical equation of inbuilt potential within the depletion region. Now we are going to explain the depletion region approximations here. So what do we mean by depletion region approximation? Just read this one here. So depletion region is nothing but, so here you can see in this diagram, in this picture you can see that there is a neutral region. Here on P side there is a neutral region which is also on the N side. Why it is called neutral region? Do you have any answer to this? Why we call these regions? This region what I am showing here, N region, this P region here, why we call these regions as a neutral region? Do you have answer for that?
Might be charges are balanced, sir.
Exactly, as I told you,
Positive,
equal number of,
positive and equal number of negative.
yes, yes, yes.
Electron combination pair.
So you might have studied, the electron hole pairing, right? Electron hole pairs, EHP, that will happen in equal number. Okay, the amount of electron moving from N to P or P to N, that will be equal in number. Therefore, whole material remains as a neutral. There is no net charge here. You don't find any one particular charge here. The entire material, even though we say here it is an N type, the total charge on this is negligible. It's a neutral. That means amount of positive charge, amount of negative charge will be equal. Therefore, the total material remains as a neutral. And we have seen here, this is one end of a depletion region, edge of a depletion region. Towards P side, we have labeled that as minus xp naught. Reason I told you earlier also why we give this as a minus xp naught, because distance commences from the center of the depletion region. This is a PN junction diode. In the middle of a PN junction, what you are seeing is the depletion region here. You can see here there is a P side, you can see that there are totally negative ions here. On N side, you can see there are positive ions here. I already explained how this positive ions on N side and negative ions on P side they have created. So these charges, these ions are immobile here. They don't move anywhere. They are created because holes have left the position. And here the positive ions are created because electrons have left the position. And this entire width of the depletion region is labeled as W. Whereas minus xp naught, since depletion region starts from the center of the diode, PN junction, towards P side we have labeled this as minus xp naught. Xp naught means it's a edge of the depletion region on P side. You understand here, xp, x is nothing but a distance. Entire the distance is measured as x here, which is shown. P indicates it is a depletion region edge on the P side. Naught indicates it is at equilibrium. You know that equilibrium we discussed, right? Because the moment when we apply potential, this may vary. Right now at equilibrium, this is xp naught is this indicates it is the edge of the depletion region here. And also look at this is xn naught, we have labeled this on towards n side, right side. Okay, this is left side, it is minus xp naught, and towards right side it is xn naught. It is positive because we are moving in the positive direction of the from the depletion region. Okay, and you can see there is a strong electric field here in the middle of a junction. You will see very huge electric field is established here. We'll show that how in a fraction of minute. We'll show that how exactly this electric field is established within this depletion region and where the electric field is going to be maximum. Okay, the charge density in the depletion region, depletion or space charge region, is only due to the donor Nd and acceptor ions Na. So these all positive ions are called as donor ions, which we label it as Nds, capital N with small subscript as Nd, and acceptor ions are negative ions, which are small capital Na, N with a small a. These are acceptor ions which are on p side of this p-n junction, or left side of the p-n junction. If you neglect carriers in the space charge region, this space charge region you should neglect. There will be no carriers here. As I told you already, this is because of strong electric field here. All charge carriers which are coming from n side to p side, quickly they are swept and moved accordingly depending on the type of charge carriers. Now let us see the charge density. Second graph what you see here what we have shown is structure of the p-n junction. This is a two-dimensional structure of a p-n junction. Okay, and below that what you are seeing is the charge density graph as a function of distance. Same distance, once again it is shown here also. Now you can see that here charge density graph, it looks like the step waveform. Is it not looking like step? You can see this is like a step. Okay, a pulse waveform. What this shows here, if you observe this charge density graph, rho of x is the notation used for charge density, and its unit is measured in coulomb per centimeter cube. Okay, amount of the charges here at the origin, this highest level is q times nd, and even though it is not showed here, what may be the level? What may be this level?
Same with negative potential.
It is minus q times Na. Okay, it is Nd here and this is going to be minus. Why it is minus?
Down the axis and p side negative.
Yes, it is negative ion, so it is p side is negative, and the field is from right to left. Understand? So field is from right to left. In our convention, okay, in our convention, see, field is from here right to left, but in our convention left to right is taken as positive. Okay, so therefore here this is going to be negative and this is going to be positive, and the positive level we already told it is q times nd, negative level is minus q times Na. So these are all nothing but these are all the acceptor ions, these are all donor ions. They have donated the negative electrons and they become positive. And one interesting thing here is, though here the shape of this negative region and positive region they are not same, but you can see the width of this the 0 to minus xp naught is larger compared to the 0 to xn naught. The distance here is 0 to xn naught is small, whereas 0 to minus xp naught is large. In other way I can say that negative region, this is acceptor, the ion region, which is larger in width, but this is going to be narrow. You know why? One assumption we are supposed to do here. What is that assumption? What is that assumption? Because of that assumption only this width is larger and this width is smaller. Anybody remember what was that assumption? If you have mentioned in earlier classes. N side is heavily doped. N side is heavily doped compared to the P side. Since due to the more dopant, okay, this due to the more dopants here on n side and less dopants on p side, you will have a larger width towards p side and lesser width towards n side. Okay, in other way I can say that the charge density towards n side is narrow, whereas charge density towards p side is wide. And you will see that more there is a spread out in the on the p side compared to the n side. May I know the reason why this spread out is more towards p side and less towards n side? One reason already I have mentioned, because n is heavily doped compared to the p. When there are more number of electrons here, what will happen to the p side? Moment of charge carriers. What will happen to the moment of holes here from the p side?
It will move to the n side, sir.
It will move to the n side, because see, there are more number of electrons here. They tend to move to the, they occupy the empty positions here. More number of empty positions are occupied here, right? So therefore the width of this is going to be more. Understand it? In other way I can say that more empty positions, holes, are moving to the n side. Understand? Instead of saying, see, more electrons are moving to the p side, I am saying here more empty positions from p side are moving to the n side. Correct? That's why depletion width is going to be more wide to the p side than the n side. See, without assuming that n is heavily doped than p, this graph you cannot write it here. I have showed here more wider and more narrow to the n side, because assumption is n is heavily doped than p. In other way I can say that this nd is larger than Na. Okay, that shows that n is heavily doped compared to the p. So the charge density on n side is q times nd. We already seen this. The negative charge density on p side is minus q times Na, which was supposed to be here. The assumption of carrier depletion width within the W and neutrality outside W is known as depletion approximation. The carrier depletion within the space charge region and within the neutral region, this approximation is called depletion region approximation. I hope I have cleared with this charge density graph. Charge density graph it will look like a step wave form. Okay, negative ions on p side and positive ions on n side. The total area here on the n side will be equal to total area on the p side. Though they are different in width, but area under this q plus, that's what we denoted here, will be equal to total area under q minus. The total charges inside this q plus is equivalent to the q times A xn naught into nd. Q is nothing but it's a charge and electron measured in coulombs. Area of this complete area from 0 to xn naught. Nd is nothing but which is donor ion concentration. Similarly, the q minus also can be written on similar lines, minus q A xp naught into Na. So the total charges here, the charges here, the charge on this, each of this is given by this value. Okay. Now observe the next graph. This graph is nothing but the electric field. Okay, electric field. Again, electric field we are measuring with reference to the distance x here. Within the depletion region, we are trying to measure the electric field here. Okay, and you can see that it looks like inverse triangle, right? This electric field, it's an inverse triangle here. And again, we already know about these distances, minus xp naught and plus xn naught. They are the edges of depletion region. This is one edge towards p side, this is another edge towards n side, and this is E of x, electric field measured as a function of distance. Okay, And you can observe here in the center of this depletion region here, the field is maximum. The field, you can see electric field is, it's a, what kind of function it is? What kind of function this is?
Triangle, sir.
It's a linear function, right? It's a linear function.
Yes, sir.
It's a negative linear function.
Yes.
And other side you see positive going linear function, right?
Yes.
It's something like, this is a, if you look at, charge density, it is a constant. And if you look at here, a electric field, it is a linear function. May I know the relationship between this and this?
Nu is equal to B by D, sir. Potential difference divided by that distance between that.
No, my question is whether it is related by differentiation and integration. I want in terms of that. How do you, once you have charge density, how do you get electric field? Or once you have electric field, how do you obtain charge density? In what way they are related? I will ask you a question in another way. What is the integration of 2 or integration of some constant?
Some function, sir. I mean f of x, f of t.
Integration of say 2 into dx.
2x, sir.
2x. 2x, what kind of function it is? It's a linear function, right? That means
Yes, sir.
this is a constant pulse waveform what you are seeing. That's a charge density graph. And below that what you are seeing is a linear function. That means if you want to obtain electric field from the charge density, you are supposed to do integration. By doing integration, you are calculating total area. But we are not calculating, instantly, but we are calculating, the stepwise, piecewise, from left minus infinity to plus infinity. Understood? If you have an electric field, in order to obtain the charge density, you do the differentiation. So here d by dx, okay, like this. Okay, within a minute we'll come back to this again. That means if you integrate this, the area under this, you get a negative triangular function here. Okay. Why it is negative? Any idea? Why this function is triangular function is negative?
To charge, sir.
Because you are coming from minus infinity to plus infinity, right? When you move in this direction, you see the charges, they are negative, right? Minus xp naught, you are moving towards positive. So look at here at the origin, again at the origin the field is going to become strong, that is E of 0 what we call. And as you move towards positive x direction, this region here and this region here, some of the area will get cancelled, and therefore the linearity keeps decreasing, or area keeps decreasing when you move from minus because this negative region here and there is a positive on the for the n side. Therefore these two regions slowly it will decrease, and therefore integration means you are calculating total area, right? Here we have a total positive area, total negative area. Look at here, from here onwards area has become 0, because here this area here cancel with this area, and therefore at this particular point of time the area is going to be 0. By doing integration, you are calculating area under curve, area under this region and area under this region. Total area here is going to be 0, because you are calculating the area from minus infinity to particular x and naught. Okay, we'll show this, we'll come back to this once again. The depletion region is similar to the capacitor, as we already talked about this. A region of one plate charged with positive, other plate is charged with negative. Okay, now let us go a little bit of other aspects. Space charge equality in electromagnetics, which tells us that total positive charges must be equal to total negative charges. Law of conservation of energy, what it says is Q plus is equal to Q minus. The transition region what you are seeing in the p-n junction that may extend to the p and n regions unequally, and that depends on the doping. If you choose equal doping, then it will be equal, but if you choose the unequal kind of doping, then widths will get extend. One such example we have shown just now. Let's assume here if p side is lightly doped, n side is heavily doped. That means this condition is true. Nd is larger than Na. Donor ions are more than compared to the acceptor ions. The difference in doping results in different width of two regions. The space charge region or depletion region extend further into the p material because of n side is heavily doped compared to the p side. And the reason for that would be to uncover the equivalent amount of charge on the p side. Mathematically, this q plus and q minus what we have showed here, that can be substituted with the values. Q plus is equal to q a x p naught, this is q minus into Na. Q plus is equal to q a x n naught into Nd. According to charge neutrality, both should be equal, and here you can cancel out q from both the sides. Left out is x p naught into Na equals x n naught into Nd. That means total charge in positive side or to the p side, this is n side, and the positive side regions is a step function. So q plus is going to be this equation, q minus is this, and according to charge neutrality, if you equate them, resultant equation is this. This is equating both the charge densities, and this equation shows that this relative width of two depletion regions is based on the doping. This xp naught and xn naught, it gives you the width. Okay, total width is sum of these two, xn naught and xp naught. Now if I substitute this relation here, n side is heavily doped compared to p side. Look at this. Let me assume that Nd donor ion concentration is twice the acceptor ion concentration. That means n side is heavily doped compared to the p side. Now substitute this in this charge neutrality equation. Okay, wherever there is a Nd, you can substitute as 2 Na. If you do that, you can see here we have done that here, and we arrive at xp naught. Okay, xp naught is nothing but it's the edge of depletion region on the p side is equal to 2 times xn naught. That means width has been extended to the p side. If you do reverse, okay, reverse means if I choose that p side is heavily doped compared to the n side, then Na will be equal to 2 times Nd. Again, once again, if you substitute in this relation, okay, which we have done here, and you get xp naught as half of xn naught. This mathematically I have shown that how depletion region extends depending on the doping. Okay, so this everything depends on this charge neutrality equation. You need to remember this equation. Okay, the density of charges can be approximated as step function. We have seen this step function, the charge density graph. The total charge can be found by integrating the charge density. In order to calculate electric field, you need to integrate the charge density graph. Length of positive and negative depletion region must be different, but the area of positive and negative region are equal. Okay, that we have seen in the step waveform. The space charges are responsible for built-in electric field E in the depletion region. Okay, now let us jump into a little bit of electromagnetics, electrostatic theory. In quantum mechanics, you can see that if you this in your pre-university, you might have aware of these notations, these quantities: displacement, velocity, acceleration. These are three important parameters in the quantum mechanics. You might have studied this definitions of this in your pre-university. So here my intention is, how do we get from if I know the displacement, which is W of t, and if you differentiate this displacement, you are going to get a velocity V of t, and differentiation of this velocity gives you the acceleration. That means when you are moving from top to bottom in this direction, you are taking derivation. Vice versa is integration. That means if you know acceleration, if you want to calculate velocity, that is v of t, you need to integrate this acceleration from minus infinity to t. What are these minus infinity to t? There are limits. What that indicates? Initial conditions. Have you come across initial conditions in case of capacitor, inductor? Are you aware of those initial approximations? Why we need to take initial conditions with respect to capacitor? What happens if I
Find that value that
yeah value? Yeah, we need to find a value before you start the operating the capacitor, right? That's called initial condition, because capacitor is the energy storing device. We don't know before you start the operating or using it. Initially it may have some charge that need to be estimated to calculate the what happens later after t is equal to 0. In the same directions, even this minus infinity to t is the notations or limits are used here. Basically these are nothing but this gives us initial conditions. And again once you know the velocity, to calculate displacement, you need to integrate velocity between the limits minus infinity to t. Okay, this is with reference to quantum mechanics. Same it's analogous to electromagnetics. What you can see, there are quantities like voltage, electric field, and charge. Okay, these are the useful quantities for our the course. If I know the charge, okay, charge density rho of x is called charge density. Okay, and there is 1 by epsilon here. That means if you want to obtain charge density, you need to take a differentiation of electric field. Okay, and again you can see that if you want to obtain electric field, you need to integrate this charge density between the limits minus infinity to x, and there is a constant 1 by epsilon here. Okay, and if you integrate this charge density between these two limits, you get electric field. Okay, and once you have electric field, if you want to obtain the voltage, which is v of x, you need to integrate electric field. Okay, now go back to this waveforms and you can analyze now here. What we have done is now this. Okay, in the space charge region, we have approximated the charge density, which looks like a step waveform, and we are integrating this the charge density, and we obtain the electric field, and integration of this electric field gives me the built-in potential or contact potential. Okay, so for that this gives you these notations are going to be useful. Okay, the relationship between the charge, electric field, voltage is similar to the acceleration, velocity, displacement in classical mechanics. Okay, so electric field, now as per our notation here, E of x is equal to 1 by epsilon from minus infinity to x into the, you are integrating between these two limits the charge density here. Okay, now you can see for a moment here. Okay, this is you are obtaining this linearly decreasing function here because you are integrating from minus infinity. Suppose if I choose here this as a x, if you integrate from minus infinity to x, there is no charges here, so therefore there is no electric field. Suppose if you integrate from minus xp naught to say this small elemental here, let us choose this small area here. Okay, now if you integrate from minus infinity to say this is x dash here, okay, the small element, let us say x dash, minus infinity to x dash. Now you see that if you integrate that, you will have this area, and area is going to be negative, therefore function is negative because it has a constant value which is negative, of course. And as you keep moving this elemental distance from left to right, what will happen? Your area keeps increasing. Area keeps increasing, and therefore your linear function goes negative. And look at the mid here. At the mid, you can see that there is a more negative area, therefore field is maximum. And as your elemental distance here you are moving towards positive direction. What happens here again? If I choose here some distance here in the mid of this xn naught and 0, that means some area whatever you considered here with positive area here cancels each other, therefore function decreases. And when you are here onwards, you can see that this positive area here, negative area here, and positive area cancels. Therefore, at the edge of the xn naught onwards, the value becomes area becomes 0. So that's why therefore this equation, electric field equation, is used. This always calculates area under the curve of charge density in this case. So maximum electric field occurs at x is equal to 0. At middle of a junction, which is E of 0, which you can calculate from minus xp naught limit to the 0, which is q into Na times dx. And if you simplify this, it gives you the value of E of 0, which is minus q by epsilon into xp naught into Na. Same equations can be written for on the n side, okay, which is this is actually for p side, this is for n side, okay, based on charge neutrality. So you can write this by changing the notations here. In place of xp naught we have an xn naught, and in place of Na we have an Nd, okay. And further, if you integrate this electric field, we get a voltage graph like this, built-in potential like this. Because here see, you can see that initially the area is 0, field is 0, therefore built-in voltage is 0. And as you move from minus infinity to plus infinity, you can see that, okay, as you move from in the previous graph, you can see that the voltage keeps increasing. This graph, it looks like the parabolic here, okay. This is parabolic here, and further it becomes constant always when you are on other side of a junction. So this V naught we are interested very much here. So the V naught equation is W by 2 Q by epsilon into xp naught into Na. The same equation V naught, you remember earlier we have derived. This is another possible equation for the built-in potential, which also can be written in terms of Nd. Okay, so this is the equation for V naught. Okay, any questions so far? In today's class, to conclude, we have covered how we get how we obtain the electric field, and from the electric field how we get the voltage. Okay, when you integrate the charge density, you get electric field, and when you integrate electric field, we get a voltage, which is nothing but built-in potential. And we have shown mathematical equation for built-in potential is this. If you integrate this electric field E of x from these two limits, in our case it is from minus infinity to xn naught here. If you do that, you get inbuilt voltage equation as this. Okay, you need to remember this equation as well. The other one we already derived in the previous class. Okay, so with that, next class we will focus on the derivation of this xn naught in terms of the depletion width, xp naught and xn naught in terms of depletion width. Okay, so with that, yeah,
Attendance link, sir. So you have not shared.
I will share it. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, I think I will end up today's class. Attendance link will be shared in the WhatsApp group. Okay. So
Yes.
thank you all for the attending the class.
Yes. Thank you, sir.